Hello my friends, Amy Esther here, and today we're talking all about anemia. I've had a very high request for this video. Lots of you guys asking for more information about anemia. Those of you who've been following along my journey, especially my pregnancy journey, know I have been very anemic recently and really struggling with my anemia, trying to get my levels back up, get everything fixed, and feel so much better. I've been struggling, and so a lot of you have wanted to know, what I've been doing, or even just general questions about what is anemia, how do you know if you have it, and what do you do if you have it, all of those things. So we're going to talk about all the things today about anemia. So if it's your first time here, I'm Amy Esther. I've suffered chronic illnesses, and I've dealt with some anemia, particularly when I'm pregnant is when I get really anemic, but it can happen at any time, and it's happened to me at other times outside of pregnancy as well. But if you're interested in more about life with chronic illness, make sure you subscribe to my channel. You're not going to want to miss any of the videos I make about how to do all the things while living with chronic illness. So let's get started about anemia. So first of all, what is it? So anemia is when you don't have enough healthy red blood cells in your body, and it reduces oxygen flow to all of your organs. And so it just makes you feel very sick. It makes you feel not so good. So some of the symptoms that you would feel is the big one would be fatigue, and that's what I've dealt with the most, is just debilitating fatigue, having a hard time even getting up for anything, like going to the bathroom. I don't even want to walk to the bathroom. I'm just so exhausted all the time. So a lot of fatigue. Other things you might experience would be pale skin, your nails and your hair might be kind of brittle and dry. You might also feel short of breath and really weak, as well as heart palpitations. Those are all really common with anemia. You'll probably feel lightheaded and dizzy. You might have low blood pressure, and a rapid heart rate are also very common. I also deal with a condition called postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and that causes those symptoms as well. So sometimes it's hard for me to tell the difference. But for me, the biggest symptom that brought on me knowing something was not right, more than just my normal postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, was the fatigue. It went from just, I'd get exhausted from doing the dishes, or I'd get exhausted from doing some small activities, to I did nothing and I just cannot get out of bed. So that to me was my biggest symptom. But if you're not dealing with, normal day-to-day dizziness, feeling, like you're going to faint when you stand up, pale skin. Obviously, I deal with that all the time, but usually I still have people tell me that I'm pretty pale when I am anemic. There's even more so than I normally am. But if you're not dealing with kind of those symptoms on a daily basis, and you all of a sudden get those, that's something to look at, is maybe look into anemia. If you are like me and you have POTS, I know a lot of you who subscribe already have POTS, like I do, postural orthostatic tachycardia syndrome, and you just get this extra fatigue, you get extra dizzy, you get kind of extra of the normal symptoms you get. That could also be a sign of having anemia. And I just want to say, first of all, I'm not a doctor. I'm just a woman sharing her story who lives with chronic illness and who's had anemia, and sharing things that I have learned from my research, what my doctors have told me, and from my own experience. So always talk to your doctor before, doing anything. In order to get diagnosed with anemia, it's a blood test. Now, if you are pregnant, they pretty routinely test for anemia with just normal testing. But if you're having these symptoms outside of pregnancy, then you're going to want to talk to your doctor about it. Just a simple blood test. For me, and what I would recommend for you, is after you get the blood test that says, yes, you're anemic, or no, you're not anemic, and you get that yes, then you need to go in and have them check your iron, folate, and vitamin B12. So those three all can make you anemic. A lot of people think it's only iron, that it's just iron that makes you anemic. And when I first got diagnosed with anemia this pregnancy, my doctor told me, okay, start taking iron. And I was like, I've been taking iron this whole pregnancy, and I was taking the exact dosage that he had recommended. And because of that, he was like, oh, so let's check all your levels. We need to check iron, folate, or B12, because all three of those could make you anemic. So your doctor might recommend just taking iron, but I would highly recommend asking your doctor to test you on those specific levels because it could be any of the three or multiple of the three. So my doctor ended up putting me on an extra folate supplement. I was already taking a prenatal vitamin for my baby, but I went on an extra folate supplement. I switched my iron supplements, and then I also started getting iron shots, which we'll talk about in just a minute. And then I went on vitamin B12. If you want to know the exact brands and the things that I'm taking, I will link down below my supplements video where I talk about the supplements that I take while I'm pregnant. And, well, sorry, y'all. Having some brain fog. Another could be symptom of anemia is having some brain fog. But anyway, hopefully I can get through this video. So I will link down below the exact ones, that the supplements video where I share exactly what I take. But I started taking those right when we found out I was anemic, and then we still tested for the exact levels of those things. And then once those came in, we were able to know exactly what the best treatment was. So I was actually low in both iron and B12. And so my doctor said, okay, we are definitely doing iron shots. Let's try this B12. It's a liquid B12 that I take. Let's try this B12. If it works, then great. If it doesn't seem to be working, we'll do B12 shots as well. But he told me that it can take up to 2 months or even longer to get the B12 and the iron back up to normal levels, which that's exactly how long it took me. It was almost 2 months. It was almost to the day, honestly, 2 months of when I started those supplements until I actually felt a difference. A big difference, a day-to-day difference. Sometimes after my iron shot, like that next 24 hours, I'd feel a little bit better, but it really wasn't until 2 months where I consistently felt back to normal. And yeah, I'll know my normal still deals with a lot of fatigue and pain and all the chronic illnesses, all the chronic pain and everything, but it was much better than the debilitating fatigue that I had from the anemia, and I definitely can tell a difference now that I've gotten through those 2 months, but just know it could take a long time, particularly B12, and also iron can take a long time as well. So get your exact levels tested so you know exactly where you're at. And then for my doctor, he would regularly test me and make sure things were going up because I wasn't feeling a difference, but he tested me about a month later and there was an improvement in my levels. And so it was getting better. It just takes a long time to actually feel that improvement. So treatment, we basically already talked about this, but iron supplements, folate, and folate is B9, I believe. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure it's B9 and B12. So taking those supplements, and you can get shots of each of those, or I think you can get like infusions of them, maybe. I actually don't know, but I know you can get shots and that you would do at your doctor, and then you can take supplements. If they're not working, I would definitely try changing your supplement, talk to other people, see what works for them. Cause like for me, it wasn't working. There's also little tricks you could do. Like for example, for iron, I was having a lot of heartburn. So I was taking my iron with antacids, which can make the iron less effective. And so not taking iron with antacids, another thing that helps is taking iron on an empty stomach, which can be really hard. The one that I actually take is, I have a supplements video where you can learn all about them, but I'll just also link them down below in this video too. So you can just go straight there. You don't have to like jump around to 6 different videos, but I will link those. But the one that I found is actually a lot gentler on my stomach. And so I can take it on an empty stomach and not feel quite as awful. It still hurts my stomach a little bit, but it's not as bad. And then also taking it with not calcium. Don't take it with calcium. Also taking it with vitamin C. And so I have a vitamin C drink that I drink, and so I make the full drink and I drink half of it in the morning with my first iron pill. I take the second half in the evening right before bed with my second iron pill, and then making sure I don't take an antacid or have a lot of calcium anytime within 2 hours of taking my iron pills so that I can make sure they digest as best as possible. And those I really do think has been helping. I'm not sure if there's any tips for B12, if you guys have any, let me know in the comments below. I take a liquid B12 and it seems to work a lot better than the pills. I don't really know why, but from people I've talked to and from my own experience, it seems to work really well. And I had a lot of people ask me about what causes anemia, and from my research, it can just kind of be random sometimes. It can be from a chronic illness that you have. Maybe you have some kind of chronic illness that's making it hard for you to digest your nutrients, and you're not really getting that iron and B12 and folate from your nutrients. Can also, pregnancy, like I said, it's pretty routine to test for anemia in pregnancy, but it's really common for the baby, that little parasite. Love them, but they take all of your nutrients, and it's really common to be anemic when you're pregnant. And then also right after pregnancy, you lose a lot of blood. If you have really heavy periods, anytime you lose a lot of blood, it's more common to get anemia, and I'm sure there are other causes of it, but those are the ones that I know of myself. Anyway, you guys, I hope this video was helpful for you. If you have more information or tips and tricks for us on how to deal with anemia, please leave your comments down below. We'd love to hear from you. If you want more about life with chronic illness, make sure you subscribe to my channel. Give this video a thumbs up. That really helps my channel when you guys thumbs up my videos, tells YouTube that you are enjoying the content that I'm making, and I just love making content here on YouTube for you. So make sure you thumbs up this video. Love you all. I will see you guys next time.